Nobody could do this, to print money without consequence, but we could. We could, that is, until recently. That privilege depended on the special status of the dollar, the cornerstone of America's dominance. But today, that status is crumbling. No longer can we rely on the imperial dollar to compensate for the loss of our industrial base. No longer can we rely on it to fund our deficits. Realpolitik requires that we face up to that fact, that new reality. The more we try to hold on to the past, the more we hasten the day of reckoning, the apocalyptical day of reckoning. Already, by weaponizing the dollar, we've accelerated its decline. Russia has become nearly immune to our sanctions. China is rapidly establishing the yuan as an international trade currency. The Brics just last week launched their Bridge settlements platform that uses blockchain technology to bypass SWIFT. 2 days ago, the Saudis announced their decision not to renew their 50-year petrodollar deal with the United States. Another step on the long road toward de-dollarization. Now, I don't want to overstate the case. The dollar still remains the world's dominant currency. If we want to keep it that way, we have to stop using it as a bludgeon. The way to keep the dollar strong is to keep the country strong. We can do that by redirecting our bloated military budget toward infrastructure, education, and health, and building our economy and building small business, which is the greatest economic engine in history, American middle class and American small business.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're going to get more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto down as expected. We have the Dow down. We have tech stocks slightly up. And we all know when Jerome is in the house, they like markets to look good. But once he leaves, we pull back. Now we have Animoca Brands. Chairman says that crypto mass adoption is just 12 to 18 months away, and blockchain gaming will be the catalyst. And guys, what do I tell you all the time? Gaming is going to push in this fourth industrial revolution because that's what the millennials and generation focus on. Remember, they're not worried about anyone that's in their late 30s and up. They want the younger generation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Remember, this is biblical. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are down. We have the dollar took a dive, but now slightly moving up. We have volume in crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And we have Australia Treasury to include stablecoin rules and crypto bill draft and ASIC's warning for crypto entities. And we're seeing the foundation of regulation for stablecoins globally. And that means there's a plan. The only thing they have to do is take these stablecoins, peg them to CBDCs. People will never know the difference, but then these stablecoins are programmable, being able to tell you what, where, and when and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend them, or poof, it's gone. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about the Fed. Yesterday, repo was at $447 billion. We know the repo was going to be moving up. We had Jerome in the house. But Jerome Powell's speech yesterday was one of the worst. The reason why, guys, because there's nothing else he can say. We clearly see the economy is bad. Consumers are hurting. Businesses are hurting. The only people that are winning are these big banks and big corporations. You can look at the stock market, and the sheep stay distracted on things that don't matter. Right now, of course, they're benefiting. Stock market is up as long as they allocate in the right places. And large caps, they're benefiting off of these few stocks moving up. But we know eventually, guys, that breaks. Because as soon as China says that they're at odds with the U.S., you're going to have Nvidia get hurt. You're going to have Apple get hurt. All of these companies are going to have a pullback. We know the collision is going to happen. But remember, it's all part of the plan. Remember, the central banks fund both sides, and it's all for the fourth industrial revolution. Whether robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. But first, they're going to have Star Wars. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. As I'm doing this video, all down right now. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have former OpenAI researcher foresees AGI reality in 2027. Now, because these big banks and big corporations have been collecting all of this data, and you turn on these supercomputers, I definitely see AGI way before that. But we know this is a plan. It moves in phases. Now we have tip leak aims for crypto newcomers with Google-powered Solana wallet. Cuts wallet browser extension out of the equation. And we know whoever makes this seamless is definitely the winner. Remember, the NWO does not want you to understand this technology. They just want you to do a couple clicks and keep it moving. Now we have Japanese Meta Planet disclose a 1.6 million Bitcoin purchase. And then also we have MicroStrategy proposes a $500 million convertible note offering to acquire more Bitcoin. And these banks and corporations are buying up Bitcoin because they know all about the digital economy. They know all about the fourth industrial revolution. And when you take time to read, when you take time to understand finances, it's definitely a blessing because you put yourself in a whole nother different world. Those who are in the space, who understand the space, who have invested, are setting themselves up to win because this digital economy is definitely coming because we see the sheep are definitely not waking up. And we're getting so much news constantly coming. This is every day. Doesn't make the mainstream media, but we're getting the news. And getting into that, lastly, we have Biden campaign and talks to accept crypto donations through Coinbase Commerce. And we know these politicians will accept any dollar. I don't care where it comes from. Remember, politicians are nothing but paid puppets. But the real news, guys, is that we have the new U.S. sanctions force the end of the dollar and euro trading on Russia's main exchange. And of course, who's going to take the place of that? That digital yuan. Guys, we're seeing the torch being passed from the United States over to China right in front of your eyes. And remember, it's all from the central banks. All these countries are working together to move us over to a level playing field. The only part, guys, is they want humanity out of the workforce and bring in the machines. And the same thing when you see when it comes to energy. They want us off the grid because they know these machines are going to be using the grid. When it comes to cell phones, they want us off the towers because we know the machines need to use the towers. They want us using the satellites. But in the emerging markets, majority of them still need to use oil. They still need to use the same energy sources they've been using. But in the United States, of course, they can change our energy. It's a whole lot easier because we have the infrastructure. But you definitely want to get yourselves in position for the transition over to the fourth industrial revolution. Like I stated, the sheep are distracted on things that don't matter. They're watching a basketball game, and we're clearly seeing the dollar coming to an end as the world reserve currency. This is unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. We're just repeating history. But what do we learn from history? No one learns from history. We have several companies on the stock market that are worth over $3 trillion. I call that a monopoly. That would have never happened during the 50s and 70s. But our young people are bogged down in debt. That's the reason why college is so expensive. To put them in debt. They don't have time to do any protesting. All this protesting you see now is all orchestrated and paid for. And remember, the crypto teacher tells you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Plus the 3 kids' books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.